Welcome everybody to the In the Pits News Truck Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We got the stars of the In the Pits News Truck Series once again here for another great race. I'm Josh Coppernell. I'm joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn. Before I bring Adam on in, last week we had a thriller of a race at Daytona to kick off the season. I don't expect anything different here tonight out of these drivers. They put on a great show last week, and they're here today. A little bit kind of a different type of race here than what we saw last week at Daytona International Speedway, where we had pack racing. This is not going to be quite like the pack racing that you saw last week, but the draft is going to come big to these drivers here. And tire management as well will be key into taking the victory today. Right now, Noah Mayeri currently leads practice sessions. There's still 12 minutes to go in practice, though. And last week's winner, Michael Krueger, he is currently P7 on the practice charts. One thing for these drivers, the rookie drivers you'll see here, just like you see on the back of this number 4 truck, yellow bumpers. That signifies the rookies. That is new this year. That is just kind of, something for these drivers to know. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a rookie on iRacing. It just means that they're a rookie in the series. And not quite caught up to speed on how well these guys drive. Cameron Caldwell, last season's champion, you see on the back of his truck. No yellow stickers. He is not a rookie by any means, as he is the champion. We do have Adam Kuhn in the booth, like I said. Adam, how you doing?
Doing great to be once again here in the booth tonight, Josh, with you, and should be another great race you mentioned there off the top. Like totally raced, but we will see a lot of blocking, I think, that will probably determine the outcome of this race, and we might see more accidents because of blocking. And the draft you mentioned, dirty air is going to be a real big factor. It's a tight track around this mile-and-a-half speedway here.
Wow, hard into the wall. You saw the 24 there in practice. Good thing this is practice. Drivers, they could tear up their trucks, and it's not going to affect how it is with the race here. They just reset, get a brand new truck.
That might have been what I was alluding to a little bit there with David Duran there. The wake of Cam Caldwell could have upset his truck. You saw him kind of broke free, went to correct it, and a little bit too much wheel input, and he went hard in the wall head on, kind of like Jimmy Johnson did about 10 years ago here, and pretty big impact. But like you mentioned, quick reset, he's back out on the track right now.
Adam, what do you say we bring in last week's winner, Michael Krueger? Hey, Michael, it's Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's been going great here. Just kind of warming up for tonight. Just getting the feel for what to expect tonight. Looking forward to everything.
So you won last week's race at Daytona. What kind of momentum is this going to bring into Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight?
It just gives a big confidence booster, really kind of going in after last week. I mean, we are racing at a mile and a half, but still gets a big confidence booster for me. Like, kind of racing against some of these guys that I might be able to hang with some of these guys. And I've been getting some practice here, and I'm kind of feeling solid. Even though it might be P7 on the boards, I'm still feeling I could get a solid run out here tonight.
Well, I got to ask, last week you mentioned being a free agent. Just kind of wondered if any team might have picked you up.
Yeah, your team picked me up. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much almost immediately after the race sent me a bit of like, hey, there's an opening here for my team. You want to come? And I was like, yeah. And you invited me on to come join your team, which was absolutely awesome to be a part of this team, and to have Wesley Rose come aboard too. That's awesome. I mean, I really appreciate the opportunity and just kind of communicating with the team, because I've never really done this before. I mean, it's an awesome experience.
Well, we're gonna let you get back up in there, talk with your teammate, and get ready for the race.
All right, thank you. You guys have a fun time watching this thing.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
So I do want to point out, as Michael Krueger did say, did pick him up after the win last week. He is definitely a driver that if I had a team in Season 1, I would have wanted on my team. So really his win last week didn't really just make me want to sign him. It was more, I mean, it definitely helped, but it was more his way he was able to drive last season, his finishes last season. Now we got him a team, got him some teammates, and actually, I'm not exactly really a part of the team. So he is teammates with Wesley Rose and Joseph Lester. Joseph Lester is the head of the team, so I do have a little bit of affiliation there, but definitely glad to see him on a team for sure, especially after picking up a win. And with Wesley Rose as well, I thought the way they worked together last week, I think they needed to become teammates, stay on a team together.
Yeah, Josh, like you said, he was pretty impressive last season in the few races he did. Did pretty decent at Richmond, I believe it was. And then, like you mentioned last week, he wasn't really going into the season planning on running a whole bunch of races, but went right out of the gate. He has a points lead coming into this race because of that, so why not continue? And now he's got a team, so hopefully we'll see him a lot more often this season, and it should be fun. He's got a lot of enthusiasm. He hasn't calmed down much since that win a week ago.
Yeah, it definitely does not sound like he's calmed down at all. Like you said, it's great opportunity for him to pick up that win, lead the points. Speaking of bring up the points here, you see he does have the lead by 1 point. Alexander Kerfan, P2. And that basically came because of the stage win Kerfan had at Daytona last week that got Kerfan all those points. And that allowed him to stay right there, 1 point difference. You see here, that's the top 8. So if the season, had ended last week, which was only race 1, then these drivers would be in the chase. We look at the next 8 drivers. See Alonso Chicano, last week's runner-up in the standings, P9, and some other drivers there that were heavy hitters towards the end of the season. Be interesting to see how they can rebound after Daytona. Daytona's kind of that wild card race. Anything can happen, and it definitely shook things up. We also have rookie points here, which you see Michael Krueger leading them with Joseph Lester in second by 6 points of a difference between the two. Noah Mayuri third, Justin Durant fourth, Wesley Rose fifth, and Daniel Szymanski sixth. Now there are some other drivers making their first start tonight. We could see more names. We will see more names added to this rookie points list, and it's just the rookie points is shaping up to be a pretty fun battle towards the end of the season. finishing up here in practice. A little over 3 minutes to go. See here, Carl Felver turning some laps by himself.
There's one of a handful of trucks left on the racetrack right about now. Time running out here in practice, so not many people utilizing this track time and either getting ready for the main event here in a couple minutes or just trying to focus on and put everything behind them and move on with the qualifying coming up in just a minute or so.
David Durand going back out there. Get a couple more laps. David Durand currently P18 on the speed charts. We got a minute and a half left till we get to the JCTV qualifying award, or pole sitting time. So, Adam, why don't you tell us who your pick to win this race is?
I'll go with the guy who came up short overall last season, but pretty consistent all year, of course. Pretty fast right now, third on the board in practice. I'll go with Alonso Chicano. You know, he's pretty good at the mile and a half, so this is a lot different though, but we should see what he can do with tire management tonight. I think he has a very good shot at outlasting these guys towards the end of the run. What about you, Josh?
I am going to go with rookie driver. We saw him lead a ton of laps last week at Daytona. He did really well, was involved in some accidents. But ultimately, he's sitting P6 right now in the practice charts. Joseph Lester. You know, we really haven't seen, how he's going to do at a track other than, our super speedways, Daytona, Talladega. But Joseph Lester, after seeing what he did, was able to do last week, lead some laps, stay out front. I think Lester's going to be a guy to watch out for, and that's why he's my pick to win tonight. Checker flag is out on practice. And gonna see qualifying, JCTV qualifying start here momentarily. Once again, the award, the driver with the most poles at the end of the season, will get a $50 bonus, courtesy of JCTV. First driver going out on the track is Brett Bennett in the 47.
But it's really the only one of these drivers tonight who went as soon as they were able to, launched and went right up on the banking, and here he goes. He's up on the green flag for his first lap. Really the only one that far in qualifying so far. Let's see what he can do. He was ready right off the go, coming into turn 3 for his first time lap.
Brett Bennett, he is going to cross the line. 30.57 for Brett Bennett. here at the number 4 truck. Joseph Lester, he is the second truck out there on time. Who has gone out. Did not register his first lap, though. Across the line. P3 so far for Lester. Jeremy Richmond, number 99. He's currently P1 on the board, completing his second lap. He goes from a 30.42 to a 30.8. So a little bit slower that time for the 99. Alonso Chicano. He's taking over the top spot. Riding on board here with number 12. Cameron Caldwell is taking his out lap.
Doing a lot of things, really smart things, but something I didn't see a lot of. He went right to the wall there, entering 2 and 3 on his out lap, as you saw. Not a lot of people did that. He kind of stuck around the blue line there, so we'll see if that helps his opening lap here.
Alonso Chicano still P1 on the board. We'll see here. Caldwell running the middle through 3 and 4 on his first lap. At the line, he is going to have P8 so far. They 30.529 for the number 12. Still one more lap round for the 12. He goes all the way to the bottom this time, does Caldwell. Crossing the line, it's going to be P4 for Caldwell.
Last week's poster, Justin Duran jumped up about 10 spots there on his second lap. I watched him. He rode the Kyle Larson line pretty much on 3 and 4 on his opening lap, the first lap, and almost nicked the safer barrier coming back to take the white. So very close call for him, but he's third on board right now.
Austin Story goes to P14. Well, your pole sitter is Alonso Chicano in the MartinPC.com 200. Alonso Chicano, will talk to him throughout the race as he is our in-race reporter for tonight. We do have one stage, which is going to be on lap 34. At the end of lap 34 will be the stage. Top 6 in points will get stage points. So we're guaranteed at least that one caution, Adam.
Yeah, I absolutely expect a lot of drivers to kind of just hopefully ride around into that caution and try and fight for the points if they can, but that's pretty early in this race. Like, that's a caution with 100 laps to go. And in this series, we don't see a lot of cautions, especially at the beginning of these races. So we'll see how these guys fight for the track position early on. It should be very exciting.
Our official starting lineup tonight is going to be Alonso Chicano, start P1. Jeremy Richmond will take P2. Justin Duran, P3. Last season's champion, Cameron Caldwell, P4. And my pick to win, Joseph Lester, P5.
We got teammates starting next with Zach Probst and Noah Maori won the last mile and a half in the season-ending race a couple months ago. He starts 7th. Alexander Kerfan starts 8th. Last week's winner, Michael Krueger, starts 9th. He's the current points leader by 1 over Kerfan. And Brett Bennett rounds out the top 10.
Dakota Knoll will start P11 tonight. Sorry about that. Robert Lukens will start 12th. Wesley Rose, P13. Austin Story will start 14th. And Dalton Kelly will start 15th.
Leo Bonacasta will start 16th. Carl Lefebvre 17th. He was the last one of our 23 drivers tonight to take time in qualifying. David Duran will start 18th. William Martin 19th, and Andrew Elias rounds out the top 20.
Kayla McCurry 21st. Tyler Watermullen 22nd, and Dawson Allen will start 23rd, and that is our 23 truck starting lineup for tonight. 200 miles, 134 laps. This is going to be, I think, a pretty good race. Pace truck is making its way into the safety of pit road. Alonso Chicano is waiting for that green flag to be displayed, and there it is. Green flag in the air. Justin Duran did not get going right away. I don't think Jeremy Richmond did either.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a very competitive start, excuse me, Josh, on the initial start, but that might have been just what these guys need to make a clean lap 1, and we're going to complete lap 1 completely clean, Josh.
And we are having technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's going on, folks. Everything is frozen on my end at the moment. It's literally all.
So we're 3 laps complete here at Charlotte. Sorry for the technical difficulties with Josh's situation. Alonso Chicano clear with the lead by a lot over Jeremy Richmond and Cameron Caldwell, about a half a second lead right now. Richmond just finally cleared Caldwell for 2nd place after the opening 4 laps. They were pretty much side by side the entire time. And now Noah Maori is fighting for 5th with Justin Durand, but Alonso Chicano almost a 2nd lead already up ahead of these guys. And everyone else is single file spread out, just minding their P's and Q's at the moment, it seems like. While the top 5 is now all single file, Chicano has a 9/10 of a second lead over Jeremy Richmond, who's pulling away from Cam Caldwell. 4th place, Justin Duran, he's using the top line, trying to get around his teammate right now. Noah Mayuri rounds out the top 5 at the moment. Only battle up front at the moment is Noah Mayuri, who is on the inside of Justin Duran. Got tight there off of turn 2 as we look lap number 9 at Charlotte. They race for the 4th position, but Justin Duran, using the top momentum, is going to keep the spot for the moment over the number 8 truck. While Cam Caldwell pulls away from these guys, he's running 3rd. A 2nd and a quarter behind race leader Alonso Chicano as we look lap 10 now. While Alonso Chicano leads, he has lost a little bit of advantage to Richmond. By the way, in his debut tonight, in that number 99 truck, running 2nd. The gap at the line as we complete lap 11, extended a little bit there for the number 25 of Chicano. About 3/4 of a second lead for him, and then a 2.5 back to Cam Caldwell in 3rd right now. A dozen laps in here at Charlotte.
All right, we are back. Let's see here. Thank you, Adam, for keeping the broadcast going. Alonso Chicano so far has led all the laps. "14 laps have been completed, 120 laps to go. Right now, everything is just kind of spread out throughout the top drivers. See here a little bit ways back, side by side with Joseph Lester on the inside of the 24, David Duran. Duran running a little bit higher through 3 and 4. Lester's able to clear. Austin Story. Currently P19, just kind of working his way through traffic. He has the 80 of Wesley Rose and Dawson Allen side by side right in front of him.
lap number 18 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You see the leads kind of brewing a little bit closer together between the top three. Alonso Gicano only has a second advantage over those guys now. Jeremy Richmond about 7/10 of a second back, and Cam Caldwell right around there, a second back behind his teammate who is in the lead, and Justin Duran in fourth. He's just trying to hold on right now. Just watching these guys, especially the 99 and the 12, who are really close now, close as they've been since the opening 5 laps of this race.
Yeah, Caldwell has reeled in Jeremy Richmond. I think Caldwell is going to be looking to take over the second position here momentarily. Right now, not close enough to quite to pounce to make that move, but he is there and just kind of waiting for maybe a little slip up out of the 99, Jeremy Richmond. Caldwell looking at the inside. Richmond was able to defend that move. Stay out front. Justin Durant, I'm surprised they're running a different line than everybody in front of him. Justin Durant, he has been running the middle lane through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 for that matter. But here we have a battle for second, even closer than before. Cameron Caldwell to the inside of Jeremy Richmond. Richmond able to hang on a little bit on the outside there, down the backstretch, but through 3 and 4, Caldwell had a better run. I think Caldwell's going to be able to clear Richmond here out of turn 2, and this is only going to help open up the door for Justin Durand to be able to get around Richmond as well. Richmond's able to close that door of Durand, getting there. As we saw there, Caldwell take over the second spot. Right now, Richmond is hanging there just in front of Durand. But Justin Durand is still running a little bit higher. I think Justin is going to try to pass Richmond on the outside. They are side by side through 1 and 2. And Durand with big momentum out of 2 is going to clear Richmond. Now Probst looking to the inside of the 99.
He's been really committed to that higher lane all race so far, really early into this, but making it work as you saw there. I'm surprised that Probst was around to get to that 99 truck there. It seems like for the moment Richmond's fading, but at least he stopped the bleeding for the moment, racing that 62 truck.
Still side by side, Probst and Richmond. Probst doing a great job at using the inside to get around Richmond. Now to 47, Brett Bennett looking to the inside of Richmond. I think Richmond, either he used a lot of tire early on, or he's just saving, because he is now just being passed and dropping like a rock.
Yeah, I think he's just having a bad time with the tire deck. He wouldn't be. I don't think he would be saving with so few laps left in the stage. So he's having a rough time with that 99 truck, it looks like, at the moment.
Alexander Kerfan is right there with Jeremy Richmond. Kerfan getting a better run off turn 4. Now looking. I think Kerfan's going to try to pass Richmond on the outside. Didn't quite take the opportunity. I don't think he was able to. Kerfan doing what he can here to keep Richmond right there. I'm noticing Richmond is entering a little bit higher and getting down to that blue line a little bit later in the corner. And I'm wondering if Kerfan is actually... Kerfan's going to take it here. Easily get past Richmond. Now Richmond, he's on the apron. He saves it. Oh, wow, he was sideways there for a moment.
Yeah, as soon as he let Alexander on the inside where he did down the front straightaway, it was pretty much position over, and he did a great job saving it there in the center of the corner like you mentioned, but he's having a very rough time holding on to that truck right now.
We got Daytona winner Michael Krueger inside of him. Go ahead, Adam.
Challenge for the lead. Caldwell's trying to go on the outside of Chicano, but he's pitched him very tight, almost made it work. He does down the back straightaway, actually.
New leader, Caldwell. That's kind of surprising that Chicano really lost that big lead he had to these guys. Caldwell able to run him down, and you know, if you're Chicano, you lost to Caldwell in the points last season. Started on the pole today. You've led every lap so far, and now you get passed for the guy that beat you for the championship. Are you going to want to drive your truck a little bit more aggressively here?
Gonna have to, and or he might just realize what he needs to do and calm down, but knowing Chicano, he's gonna not really work himself over, but realize what he needs to do and overcome it and get a lot better for the last 100 laps here we have after the stage concludes here. But it is kind of not really demoralizing, but kind of gets tiring when it's the same one putting you back in your place every time.
We have a battle for third. Probst to the inside of Justin Durand. Justin Durand hanging on that outside lane. Durand is going to clear Probst. We'll see here, Probst is able to get back to the inside of Durand. It does not look like it. So you're back single file. Probst just looking down at the bottom. And I'm surprised 20 is still running that middle line.
Yeah, Justin definitely seems comfortable running that lane. See, he held off that 62 truck, and now he's closing in on Alonso on this last lap here, running that lane.
This is the final lap of the stage. And it looks like it's going to be an easy victory for Caldwell. The stage, but right here, this battle for second. Chicano's going to get second, Durand third, Probst fourth, Brett Bennett fifth, and Alexander Kerfan P6. So Adam, the top 6 drivers get stage points. Daytona winner Krueger did not get any stage points, so right now, Kerfan is tied with Krueger in the points.
Yeah, absolutely. A big for Kerfan to get that single point there to even things up, and we know how much played an advantage from last week. And honestly, these top 6 might be the 6 guys who get the points almost every race. These are pretty consistent guys, pretty speedy guys, and definitely made up a considerable amount of the wins last year.
Pit road is going to be open for the drivers this time by, and I expect everybody to pit here for 4 tires. I don't think anybody's going to try some kind of strategy. And as you see,
Oh yeah, the whole
everybody's
field coming down here.
Looks like a little bit of a mistake out of the 20. Justin Rand, I believe he had to back up.
Yeah, I saw the same thing though, Josh.
Caldwell is off and rolling. Caldwell is going to win the race off pit road. And let's go ahead and bring in Stage 1 winner, Cameron Caldwell. How's it going, Cam?
It's going pretty good.
So tell us there, you started P4 and you had to pass some trucks there and ultimately caught Chicano towards the end of the stage. How'd you get it done?
Well, Josh, you know very well I'm not very good on the long runs at most tracks, but I found something really that run, and I just was really fast. It seemed like on the long run. My tires still weren't very good, but it just felt fast, and I noticed about probably 15, 20 laps in that I was probably going to be able to run them down if I was going to be able to pass Jeremy, which I did. So it feels really good, but still really early. We're not quite in the night yet, so it's going to change a lot. So I'm not putting too much thought into it just yet, but it feels good so far. Nice to get a stage 1.
You talk about changing into night, which it isn't quite there yet. Once it gets there, how much is the track going to change from what it is now? I
am not entirely sure. It's probably going to get tighter with more grip, but I'm not entirely sure. It feels like right where we're at right now, it feels really good for my driving style, but like I said, I think it's going to change a lot, so I'm not really sure how it's going to be able to fit with my driving, so it's just going to have to be a game of adapting for the rest of the race, I think. I think pretty soon, probably by halfway, we'll be at night, and it'll be about the same for the rest of the race. So hopefully by then we'll figure it out, and we'll be good to go.
Alrighty, well, you've been looking pretty good out there. So we'll let you get back to it, and maybe we'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was race leader Cameron Caldwell, driver the number 12 in the Pits News truck. And they did choose, while we were interviewing him, the choose rule. We'll go over that a little bit later if we have another caution. Caldwell did choose the bottom. Chicano chose the top. Probst chose the bottom. Durant chose the top. Pretty much exactly how they would have started without the choose rule. The first one to take advantage of that was Brett Bennett, who chose the top, and Kerfan, who chose the bottom. Green flag is back out, though, and Caldwell with a great restart over everybody, and I think Krueger might have had a little bit of issues in the back restarting, but he kept it going straight. See everybody trying to get single file here. Alexander Kerfan to the inside of Brett Bennett. He's able to clear Bennett. So it looked like Bennett choosing the outside lane. Kerfan choosing the inside didn't really prevail for Bennett. Now Bennett has no Mary to the outside. Back up to the lead. Alonso Chicano did overtake the lead from Caldwell. And Chicano right back to where he was start this race, and that is the top spot. They are 2 by 2 behind Caldwell and Chicano, though, with Zach Probst on the inside. That outside lane with Justin Durant, Noah Mayuri, he is prevailing over that bottom lane. Justin Duran with help from Noah Mayuri. He is to the outside of Caldwell. I'm really surprised here. It's kind of looking like a Daytona restart. You got everybody kind of packed together, nose to tail, but Caldwell looks to the inside, isn't quite there to pass Chicano. Justin Durant hanging on to the outside out there. There, 3 wide entering 3. Caution is out, though. We have a wreck in the back. And it is going to be Wesley Rose and others. Take a look to see what happened here. I'm not sure if there was some contact or not. Rose, he went hard into the outside wall. A couple of other trucks got collected.
Yeah, it looks like very misfortunate there for all those guys. Very confusing situation there. Oh, there was a truck in the grass before that. That looks to be Dalton Kelly through the dog leg. I wonder if that stacked those guys up.
Very well could have been, and actually looking back at the replay, there was contact between the 24 of David Durand and the 80 of Wesley Rose. See Wesley Rose limping his truck. Very skewed. Unfortunate for Rose, as that's 2 weeks in a row he has been involved in an accident. Not the way he wanted to start the season by any means. We saw here some drivers did come down pit road. One of them being Alonso Chicano. A little bit surprised at that decision out of Chicano. Let's go ahead and bring in Chicano. Hey Alonso, it's Josh up in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, so just had our second caution here. You were the leader, and you chose to come down pit road. What was the decision to do that?
Just, I don't know, just taking a gamble, taking a risk. Had 3 sets of tires left. I feel like we're probably going to go on another long run. It would have been nice to get some more people to join us down pit road, but nevertheless, you know, I feel like as long as we get a good long run here, then we'll be straight.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back up in there, and we'll maybe talk to you here again.
Yep, hope so.
That was Alonso Chicano, driver the number 25. Saw there again the choose. Cameron Caldwell taking the inside. Let's go ahead and bring up the choose cone rule. Pretty much that middle 2 lanes you do not want to be once you get to the start finish line. The outside lane or the inside lane is pretty much where you want to be when you make your decision. You saw there Cameron Caldwell taking the inside, and Justin Duran taking the outside.
Alonso, they would say that was kind of a gamble call, and I would agree. He's going to line up in 15th on the outside lane, so very dangerous spot to be here on this restart. Could be very easily caught up in an accident here. We saw accident on that restart deep in the pack could happen again here if he's not too unfortunate here on this restart.
Going green with 88 laps to go. Cameron Caldwell is the control truck. He goes the outside lane. Really didn't get a good jump there. Alexander Kerfan is going to be the beneficiary in that. And Zach Probst might be able to gain a position as well on the number 20 of Justin Durant. Durant is powering on that outside lane with help from Noah Meary. And so now Probst, with that advantage of being on the bottom, is not going to come into play. So here he's got Joseph Lester on the outside lane.
Mayo is going on the inside of Durand on the back straightaway. He looks very impressive on this restart. Last one as well, he moved up a ton of spots. Here he is on Durand on the inside through 3 and 4. Almost can slide up, but Durand just gets too much of a run on the exit to do it.
Still side by side for P3, the number 8, the number 20. Noah Mayuri has the advantage there, and I think it's a matter of just having a draft down the front stretch. Mayuri is going to clear the 20 of Durand. And now we'll see here what lane Mayuri chooses. He's going to run that top lane with Durand. And I think Durand got a little bit too high there. Mayuri ran the lane that they pretty much have been running all race long so far. And now Durand with pressure from the number 4 of Joseph Lester. Side by side from the number 4 and the number 20 trucks. Joseph Lester trying to make that inside work. Durand going way to the outside, right up against that wall. He's going to have run down the front stretch. Brett Bennett in the wall out of turn 4. I think Bennett's truck is okay. Not really sure what happened there to him. But Alonso Chicano, he's making progress going up through the field. He's right behind Brett Bennett. A little bit of pressure out of the 55 from William Martin. Alonso Chicano, big run through 1 and 2 rather. Put Alonso Chicano P6 now after coming down pit road. 99 Jeremy Richmond entering the corner. Get underneath 47 of Brett Bennett. They are side by side.
See Alonso just gap these guys so much. It's not that tires really matter. I mean, they do matter that much here, but it's not because of the old surface. It's just because I would assume more stability with the truck. The handling just makes everything comfortable. We knew tire deck would be a real issue tonight, and see Chicano with the fresh tires just pull away from these guys and try and now go for the top 5 spot so early into this run.
This is interesting for sure. The strategy that Chicano called. He is on 8-lap fresher tires than the drivers ahead of him. You're seeing what he can do with those tires. Like you said, you wouldn't expect 8 laps to be really much of a difference, especially because a lot of those 8 laps was run under caution. But they are making a huge difference. Chicano, he's already to the back of the 20 truck.
Yeah, he's in this main draft already, like you mentioned, and passing them is obviously going to be a lot more difficult as well in this big group, but he's there. The disadvantage is almost essentially gone now. that he had stood there by pitting under that caution. So a lot of time made up here in the early laps for Alonso.
Now he ran the high lane. That last set of corners, Durand also ran that high lane, which forced Chicano to kind of hang out behind him. They were just side by side now, right in front of Chicano between the 4 and the 8 of Mayuri and Lester.
Yeah, Mayuri and Lester almost had a close call down the front straightaway. Mayuri almost took the back of Lester's truck, almost sent him through the dog leg, and you see Chicano trying to take advantage of that now. Huge run down the back for him.
Riding on board with Chicano. He is in P4 now, hounding on the back of Joseph Lester. Lester chooses the high lane. Chicano takes the bottom and easily gets side by side with the number 4 of Lester.
Close call for Alonso there going into the corner. He had to check up really early because of Kerfan's entry to the corner. Now he's going to wedge himself underneath Kerfan corner accident. He's racing for second place now.
This is going to open up the door not only for the 25 underneath the 30, but also for the 4 truck. If Lester is able to get there, he's not. So Kerfan.
He did not have enough security in the center of that corner to do that for Joseph Lester, like Chicano does on those fresher Goodyears.
You nailed it. Those tires of Lester's are not hanging on quite as well as the 25's tires of Alonso Chicano.
But now, yeah, as soon as Chicano gets to the wheel of the 12, I would think the tires would kind of, equal off here as soon as he gets to the back of his teammate. Should be an exciting fight here. We saw, obviously, Caldwell a little bit better on that last long run, but I would believe the tides will reverse here with the different pit strategy.
You saw an opportunity for Chicano to kind of get underneath Caldwell. He did not take it down the backstretch into turn 3. He stayed behind Caldwell, and now it seems like he's not able to really do anything to get around the 12. He pulls right up there on exit, but doesn't make a move entering into the next set of corners. Now they're side by side. Alonso Chicano to the outside of the 12, Cameron Caldwell.
There are 2 lapped trucks with damage ahead, so this should be interesting if this battle continues for much longer. On the outside, though, the 25 is going to muscle around him and clear him, Josh.
And Chicano did take the lead, and he took it with authority. Now we're going to see him just kind of pull away from Caldwell. Use those fresher tires to the advantage.
You can really see how much that draft really helps down these straightaways. Caldwell had a huge head of steam that second dogleg through the front stretch, but he had nowhere to take it beside almost the back of Chicano. So he kind of had to feather the throttle like that there. Kind of upsets the truck going into 1 like that, though.
Adam, one thing I am surprised about is the fact that the gap is only a truck length from the 25 and the 12, and Caldwell is able to close that gap down the straightaways. They have the Dakota Knoll truck, lap truck you were talking about, get in the way entering turn 1, but he stays high, so it doesn't really affect the entry of the 25 and the 12. But here we go. Now Kerfan going to look to the inside, and I think this is the part where it's really going to help the 25 of Chicano. Kerfan sends it in to the corner, side by side for the 12 and the 30.
Kerfan just made too late of a move there to really be prepared for the corner. Caldwell was just hooked up on the outside lane, and Kerfan kind of had a bail on the exit. He's going to go for it again into turn 1, but can't quite do anything. He's got to watch out for Lester behind him. He is putting all kinds of pressure on that 30 truck there. Off of 2, he's going for the run on the inside, Josh. 2x2 up front.
I'm surprised here. Caldwell and Kerfan hanging on to the outside of the 25 of Alonso Chicano. And Caldwell is making that outside really stick here. Chicano was ahead at the line. But Caldwell, he is doing a great job hanging on that outside. Huge run into the corner. And he's pinching the 25 down. In the corner, they're not quite clear. But new leader once again.
Almost made contact.
Yeah, they did come really close. I thought Chicano was going to hook him. But he was trying to get that side draft to really help. And here, Chicano does not want to pull up because that will just slow him down using that side draft. Caldwell still on the outside lane, though. Chicano will have the 12 clear here. Out of 2 down the backstretch. Caldwell closing in. I'm just shocked that the 25 has not ran away with this. And I thought for sure once the 30 of Kerfan and the 12 Caldwell got side by side, that was really going to help make that statement for the 25 to pull away. But in reality, it just kept the 4 trucks under a blanket.
Well, really, the whole top 10s right here. A lap ago, the top 11 was in 2 seconds of each other, all the way back up to Michael Krueger and that 42 truck. Everyone's really close together here in this top half of the field. It's pretty competitive. You got the top 4 trucks right here in the main pack, but then back half of the top 10's kind of congested all on their own.
We are halfway, 67 down, 67 to go. And this thing is just as exciting as it was when the race started. These guys there are catching the lap truck of Tyler Watermolen, driver the number 68. There is a caution out on the track, though. It is the 44 of Andrew Elias. Slow down the backstretch. Let's take a look and see what
He
happened.
was in the back half of that top 10 that I was mentioning, and he went for a ride down the back straight, Josh.
Oh, wow. Andrew Elias. I'm not sure what happened. Let's take a look here. Krueger and Probst. I'm not sure. It almost seemed like Elias just slowed down in the straightaway, and I'm not sure. I don't think that was the case. I wouldn't see why Andrew Elias would just slow down like that.
Yeah, it's definitely strange. It looks like he got a little bit of a tap and it sent him, but yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what came first, whether him slowing or what. Just a weird situation, compounded by that hit to the inside wall.
This is very interesting. Race off pit road. Chicano's going
Meanwhile,
to get it.
yeah,
It's going to be...
that was pretty close for those two.
It was close. Chicano, Caldwell, Kerfan, and Lester. Top 4. Let's go ahead and bring in race leader Alonso. Sorry about that for pulling you down the middle of a sentence, but you took the lead back after that pit sequence. You got the lead after winning the race off pit road, so now you're going to restart. Same set of tires as everybody else. What's it going to take here? 65 laps to go.
It's gonna take a little bit of luck. Cam has the better truck on the long run. Glad we're up here again, and strategy kind of worked, but not really. Would have been better for it to go green a lot longer, at least to get into like the pit sequences. But you know, it is what it is. We'll been doing a decent job so far, leading a lot of laps. So I guess at least we'll have some bonus points to celebrate. But try to race here with Cam and Alex. It's been a good race so far with them, and we'll see what comes out of this.
All right, well, we'll let you get back up there with your teammates. And, maybe we'll talk to you again a little bit later on.
All right, thank you.
Once again, that was the 25 Alonso Chicano race leader, pole sitter, and our in-race reporter for tonight. So we'll go ahead and once again show the choose cone rule. Anywhere up top and anywhere on the bottom is where you want to be. If you get in that middle, across the start-finish line, you will get a penalty. Where you choose will not matter, because you'll have to go to the back. Well, we've seen a couple penalties happen since this rule has been in play, and I think we even saw one last week. So these admins, they are on top of it. We'll see here how they choose. And Chicano and Caldwell's going to take the top. Kerfan and Lester will take the bottom. Mayuri, bottom. Richmond, top. Looks like Duran to the top. Interesting strategy calls for these guys.
I would agree a lot, considering we have not seen a lot of that top lane tonight on these restarts. But I'm not quite sure if that's the lane just not working, or these guys are really not being organized 100% at the rate the leader accelerates the way the restart box is here.
One thing to remember is the whole teammate factor as well. Chicano and Caldwell, they're not on both on Radius Racing this season, as Chicano has jumped over to Vortex Racing, and I think that has a lot of it to do with it as well. Is the fact that it's not, hey, this is where I'm going. It's, I want to try to throw you off, so I'm not going to tell you where I'm going. Pace truck is in. And Alonso Chicano is a controlled truck. He is going to hit the loud pedal. And him and Kerfan. Great jump. Cameron Caldwell fades back to third place, and he's got pressure from the Ford truck of Joseph Lester. Lester's to the inside. Caldwell trying to hang on that outside lane. He's going to be able to clear the number 4 of Lester. Lester now looking to the outside. Mary underneath Lester. And here comes Richmond. After starting up front and fading towards the back. Early on in the race, Richmond making his way back up there. Around Mary on that outside lane. But Richmond, P5.
Him, right behind him, is Carl Felver in the 15. Started 17th, went to the back probably on every caution except for this most recent one so far tonight. And here he is, he's up in the mix, running 7th right now.
Those top 4 trucks, once again, 2x2. And Richmond is looking at this and trying to figure out where he can go. Give Lester.
Yeah, but when you're in that position, you really want to go around and get all of them, but there's no place to go at a place like Charlotte. It's too narrow.
give Lester an advantage on that outside lane. Now he's side by side with the 30 and the 12. Right behind race leader Alonso Chicano in that 25. Now Kerfan driving it in to get side by side with leader.
Kerfan's done that the last couple laps in 3 and 4. He just can't get enough drive on the exit of 4 to challenge Alonso down the straightaway.
Lester is the only one that's really running that outside lane in the corners, and that's because Chicano was clear from the top of Kerfan. And now Richmond is making his presence known. Looking underneath the 12 of Caldwell. Give Lester P2. He's around Kerfan. Now looking at the back bumper of the 25. Lester trying to take the lead on that outside lane. He's not quite there. Kerfan to the inside. I don't think Lester realized that Kerfan was there. They almost made contact.
Man, Lester was pushing Chicano down the entire back straightaway on top of almost getting hit in the door by the 30. And he's had clear the 30 now, and he had a run on the 25 off the 4 for a moment. He had a lot of speed in that 4 truck right now.
And I just want to say here, the difference in age between the leader and second place is 10 years. Chicano was 10 years old when Lester was born. Lester's only a teenager, and he's going up with the fight on race leader. Alonso Chicano looking at the inside.
We've seen Chicano defend on this outside, but yet we haven't seen Lester make a ton of passes on the inside this stint, so this should be an interesting battle. Chicano's got a lot of help with the 30 aiding him on the outside of the corners. Lester can't quite get enough momentum off the corners he needs to running that low lane right now.
And Lester, he's doing a great job really staying with the 25. The 30. Lester's actually able to clear Kerfan. Now Lester's using that outside lane. No, he goes back down to the inside lane. Get that draft out of the 25.
Yeah, Lester really needed to clear the 30 in so he can just shut him off and focus up front. Only look out the windshield and ignore the back. So now he's going to really try and work hard on this 25 without opening the door to Kerfan, because that's just going to make life more difficult for him here.
Lester doing a great job, not only mirror driving, but driving out of his windshield as well. And you would think that we are racing at like Daytona or Talladega with a single file racing and doing something like mirror driving and windshield driving at the same time. The only one who's really not looking out their windshield is that 25 of Chicano, who is doing nothing but looking out his mirror. Trying to figure out where is the 4, where is the 30, where is the 12. He's doing a great job hanging on to it and keeping that 25 truck on point. I do want to mention Chicano, he is great at this kind of racing. Chicano, he won Daytona last season to start off the season. He actually won a race last night in the Cup cars at Daytona. Chicano is great when it comes to pack racing like this, and we didn't expect pack racing like what we see at Daytona and Talladega tonight here at Charlotte.
Just like what we saw with the new style Atlanta Motor Speedway ago, these guys have to be very careful with these trucks checking up in the double doglegs on the front straightaway. They almost have come close and made a lot of contact there, and it's been very sketchy the last couple laps. Now that they were double wide here with 30 and the 12, we'll see that probably shouldn't be that much of an issue now. Now we got split lane like this down the front straight.
50 laps to go for these drivers, and they're side by side for a second. You see there out of the rear of Chicano leader. Lester with the advantage over Kerfan. He's going to be side by side with race leader Alonso Chicano once again. I think the tires are really starting to fade now on that Ford truck. You saw him start to struggle in the center of the corner, really roll up on exit. That allowed the 99 to get there. They're 3 wide.
3 wide.
And still 3 wide out of turn 2 down the backstretch. Richmond is in the middle. Caldwell on the bottom, and they sort it out. Now it's only 2 wide there for the 99 and the 4. Richmond and Lester.
Yeah, it looked like Caldwell backed out of that. He did not want to be there, it looked like. And I don't blame him necessarily, because those guys were not going to give him much space, especially the way that 4 truck's handling probably just wouldn't allow him to, as we see the 5 truck again getting lapped here. Thankfully, they got single fire just as they caught him, because I thought they were going to run up on him and have nowhere to go.
And that definitely would have thrown a big wrench into things if they had been 3 wide when they caught the slower truck there of the number 5, Dakota Knoll. The 30 and the 25 have been able to pull away from the 4, the 99, and the 12 now. And I think for the first time in this race, Alonso Chicano really is able to take a breath, but it's not too big of a breath as he does have pressure from Alexander Kerfan right there on his rear bumper.
I think this is relaxing for Chicano right now because he does have Kerfan right there, as you mentioned, but it's 1 truck. I don't think Kerfan's going to be able to generate too huge of a run to do anything with him right now. With how many laps to go, I think the 30 is just willing to ride.
And if that is the case, these two might start to really pull away from the rest of the pack. Lester, he's sitting there, not really with anybody right behind him. Caldwell is there about 2 truck lengths back. And he's got about 5 truck lengths out in front of him to Kerfan. It has settled down. We got 45 laps to go, and Adam, if we get a caution, it's going to be just as intense as we saw it there. Except...
we have 1 truck in the wall. Noah Mayer, rode the wall throughout 3 and 4. He's back going. Looks like not too much damage on his number 8, but he lost a ton of track position. He was racing teammate Zach Probst right here at the tail end of this pack.
We see there the 20 of Duran, Justin Duran, that is. 15, Carl Felver. And Zach Probst. All right there, battling hard. Probst being patient, waiting for these guys to sort it out to start to make his move. It's Probst to the inside of Felver now. Back up front, Kerfan. Still right there with the 25. They're just holding steady. They know if they work together here,
And
they can really pull away. Go ahead, Adam.
well, I was just going to mention they are pulling away just a little bit over Joseph Lester, but I think that's going to continue to build up over this run here if we continue to stay green. Just them staying this close like this is really helping them, like you mentioned, and I don't think the handling's there for the Ford for him to be leading that lane, so it might be, kind of hurting those guys third on back, having Ford up ahead, but he is holding his own right now, so very interesting to see these guys. Maybe they just ran off the tires with how hard they were running. We saw how competitive that last battle was.
Well, Adam, what do you say you turn it up? it is still Alonso and Chicano out front with Kerfan behind him. They are riding, as we've already mentioned. And Joseph Lester, actually a little bit quicker than the top two. Last couple of laps, so Lester, he might not really be out of it. They're coming to 35 laps to go. We'll see if Lester has been able to save any tire to really get back up there. And actually, the 30 is starting to fade a little bit from the 25. And now it's starting to get a little bit of a gap there between the 30 and the 25.
Yeah, not only that, the pressure off the back of that Ford truck is almost completely gone too. Cameron Caldwell faded a ton. Now he's lost that position to Justin Durand. And he's not chasing back that Ford truck too soon yet either. So these top three are kind of spread by themselves now at this point in this run.
Things have definitely settled down here from when we went back green, which was a little over 30 laps ago, and we actually have a couple drivers down pit road. It is the 4 of Joseph Lester, as well as the 18 of Leo Bonacasa down pit road. And they are cutting this in half from when they last went back green. A couple of other drivers down pit road now. 62 of Zach Probst, as well as 12 Caldwell, and the 45 of Dalton Kelly. The 4 and the 18 have made it off pit road. Go ahead, Adam.
Very intrigued to see how the Ford truck's going to cycle out here. Hitting a lap ahead of the 12 and 3 laps at least now as the 25 goes by pit road of the top 2. So we know how big tire deg is here. We'll see if he leapfrogs the 25 and the 30 once pit stop cycle.
It is going to be very interesting here. As long as the 25 and the 30 stay out, this is only going to help the 4 of Lester, who currently is P17, 1 lap down, but things will cycle through. And everybody has made it off pit road that has pit so far. You see the 12, the 62 blending back in. And the leader, Chicano, still out there. Nobody come down pit road that time.
Yeah, it seems the field kind of either had the lap they all have. Half the field had the lap they planned, and the other half had their plan, and no one's really subsiding with the strategies here, so it'll be very fun to see how this all plays out here with the different strategies right now at play.
And the 30, as well as the 20, as well as the 99 down pit road here for their pit stop sequence. 68 lap down, Tyler Watermolen coming down pit road as well. And here earlier, the 20 overshot it again. And I was going to say, earlier we saw the 20 overshoot it, and it's more important now not to do that, as this is a green flag pit stop. Kerfan off cleanly. Now we see the 23, Austin Story, the 5, Dakota Knoll, and the 45 of Dalton Kelly in pit road. And for that 45, this is actually going to be a penalty here. Probably for too fast down pit road. So he just took the drive through there. Noah Mayeri.
Place. Yep, Noah Mayeri in.
So right here, Joseph Lester. He is the first truck 1 lap down, so if caution were to come out, he would be the free pass. As Chicano still has yet to come down pit road. Chicano is just staying out there. And I'm surprised. I would have assumed here that it would have been a couple of laps from the time the 4 pit to the time the 25 pit. But we're at 7 laps now of a difference between when Lester came down pit road and Alonso's still out there. It's 25 laps to go. I think right now Alonso's banking on a caution because if he comes down pit road, it's going to be a very short time for him to be able to get around to pass the 4 truck, assuming he gets out cleanly.
Yeah, absolutely. As everything cycles out now, it should be, from what we're looking at, Joseph just going as the lead. Because he's running a lot faster laps than Chicano is right now, obviously, with the tire difference. And you see the 4 closing in on the 25. Next, separated by not a lot right now, just truck looks as the new tires are helping the 4s and the 12 a lot more in the corners than Chicano. So if it goes green all the way, like you mentioned, it's going to hurt the 25 big time. He's coming in this time, it looks like. No, he's staying out still. That's just the big tire difference right there in the center of the corner. It's showing that look.
And I am really surprised here at that strategy, and Caldwell is going to stay out as be able to pass the 25 as well. Not stay out. Caldwell has already came down pit road. So now the battle for the lead, as soon as things do cycle through, we still have a lot of drivers that have yet to come down pit road. Once things do cycle through, this is the battle for the lead right here, the 12 and the 4.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with how well the 12 has been able to keep up. They kind of merged really close together in a little bit of traffic, but they were able to slice through together, and Caldwell was just followed right in the footsteps at 4. Now swinging to the outside, trying to make a pass on Lester through 1 and 2.
Now here is the biggest question: is how are these two gonna fight it out? We know Caldwell, he has admitted multiple times he is not very good at saving tires. We saw the 4 pretty much use what he had, battling hard as they're really leaning on each other there.
4 almost lost it in the exit of the corner there. Big save for him.
We saw
he's going to lose all that momentum.
He will lose a lot of momentum, but he's still hanging there with the 12. But as I was saying, is on the 4, we saw him pretty much use up all of his tires, really battling there. Things are settled down here. This is going to allow him to be able to save tire. I'm very curious to know if he, is going to be able to go up there and catch Caldwell if Caldwell's not really able to save the tires like he is known to not be able to really do. Kerfan looking to the inside of Lester, though. They are side by side down the backstretch. I think Lester, he just kind of needs to let the 30 go, get in behind him, just kind of ride and let them push their tires. 20 laps to go. Chicano's still out. Make that 19 laps to go, rather. Chicano's still out, has yet to come down pit road. 55 of William Martin is down pit road. You see there, 33 of Robert Lukens is also down pit road. Now exiting.
Alexander Kerfan has caught Joseph Lester and Cameron Caldwell and passed them both. He just got by the 12 in 1 and 2.
Kerfan is on 3-lap pressure tires. Then the 12 is in 4-lap pressure tires, and the 4 is 18.
Jack Pope's behind him. He's catching them too. Sorry, Josh.
That's all right. 18 laps to go, 17 to go, as Chicano's at the line now. And you know, I think right now Chicano, his strategy is either A, to get a caution, or if this thing stays green, to take maybe fuel only.
Yeah, that might be definitely a play for him as the deeper he goes into this run, and a lot more options come into play, obviously. He honestly might... It might be too far to try to save it on fuel, but he might be trying to save as long as he can go, and like you mentioned, short fill it. He has been running pretty slow laps. I don't think it's necessarily all tire, and it's mainly getting out of the way, but it could be fuel conservation also.
So to put this into perspective, if Chicano is able to make it, that'll be 66 laps, as he is pitting this time.
Michael Krueger's going to stay out, and he's going to assume the lead for momentarily, at least.
Very curious here. What is 25 going to do? How long is he going to be in pit road? In his box, cleanly. Right side's up, so he is at least taking right sides here. And he's still sitting there. Left side's up, so he is taking 4 tires. And away he goes.
Yeah, Alexander Kerfan is long gone around the track right now.
Krueger still out there. Krueger last came down 52 laps ago. And you're going to see here the difference between 52-lap old tires and 0-lap old tires is Chicano is right there and blowing past the 42. As our Daytona winner is still out there, chose not to come down. 13 laps to go. Krueger is the only driver yet to come down pit road. Once Krueger does come down, Kerfan will be the leader. And Kerfan, it's not even close between him and Caldwell.
Oh no, he blew right away as soon as he got by both the 4 and the 12. He just took off, and now he's got almost a 2-second lead over that 12 truck already. He's got a little bit of lap traffic in his way, but I believe he'll get through it pretty cleanly here.
And Krueger is down pit road, so here we go. New leader, it is Kerfan. Trying to get around lap traffic. 12 laps to go here in the MartinPC.com 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Truck just ahead is Bennett. He was on the same strategy as Chicano and Krueger, so he should be pulling away from this 30 truck momentarily. So I believe it's just going to be Kerfan with the number 33 truck in between he and Caldwell at the moment.
This is the closest battle between our top drivers. Probst is hanging out there a little bit behind. 11 laps to go. If Lester's not pushing it, he starts pushing it here.
Bravo Turn 3, Brett Bennett just got a nudge from the race leader, and that was not the start of it. He slid in Turn 2, almost spun out there, and got hit by the leader in 3. Kerfan now checked up by the 33 truck racing him. Almost disaster for the race leader, and Caldwell is closing fast because of this.
This is going to bring Caldwell and Lester up closer. Something to keep an eye on is Kerfan going to be able to hold his gap? Robert Lukens is behind the 30 truck. Lap down, 1 lap down. And Kerfan, he's just not letting that slow him down. Kerfan's still pulling away from Caldwell. Seven laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Following what Alonso is being able to do here after his last stop really late in this race, he just got by Leo Bonacasa for the ninth position, excuse me, and now he's chasing down Austin Story. Going to be close to see if he can get to that group of traffic. If he can, he might be able to sneak to 6 right now, the way it stands.
6 laps to go for these drivers. And Chicano is P9, so we were talking here about how much this is going to affect him staying out for long periods of time, but here he's got like 10, 13 lap fresher tires than these guys. He's not going to be able to get to the lead like this without help from a yellow. But he is, as you said, going to get up to 6 places. He pretty much is picking off 3 of them in one corner.
Yeah, that shows the tire difference right there. Wow, that's pretty smooth there on the bottom lane.
He might be able to get up there to Noah Mayuri to take 5th place. I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything better. See here, Kerfan taking 4 laps to go.
Mayor and Pro just side by side for position could help the 25. It looks like Mayor is actually going that pretty quickly on that 62 truck.
And Probst, he's going to look to the inside. Not quite have anything for Mary. But that is going to, as you said, help the 25. They continue battling like that. Chicano might be able to get him 2-1 in another corner. He's got to do it quick. He's there 2 truck lengths behind the number 62. 2 laps to go. Chicano by Probst easily there. Now has his sights set on Mayuri. To the inside. And Chicano, now P4. White flag is out. Chicano looking to take P3. He's going to go to the outside. Lester blocks. But now Chicano easily able to get around that 4. Meanwhile, through 3 and 4 for the final time. Alexander Kerfan. He's going to find himself in victory lane. Kerfan wins the MartinPC.com 200.
Long time coming for him and that team. He was a really strong contender last season. Should have won one of the races, but controversy arose and unfortunately got wiped out on the final lap because of it. But very impressive statement win here tonight, I believe, for him.
And Chicano was able to get to P3. Lester actually fell to Mayeri as well. And,
yeah, Joseph Lester caught the wall through 3 and 4, door slammed Mayeri, and they kind of dragged race coming to the finish line, but seemed to be pretty solid fit. Well, I mean, a respectable finish between those two, it seemed like, the way they finished.
Alexander Kerfan celebrating his win. And the MarkPC.com 200. You see there those Radius teammates celebrating team owner Cameron Caldwell. And 20, Justin Durand finished P7. Well, our unofficial results, Alexander Kerfan is the winner. And P2, Cameron Caldwell. Bringing it home third after staying out on an interesting strategy call and hard charging at the end. It's Alonso Chicano. Noah Mayeri takes home P4, and Joseph Lester rounds out the top 5.
Sixth place was Zach Probst. 7th was Justin Durand. 8th was Jeremy Richmond in his debut. 9th was Austin Story, also in his debut, and Leo Bonacasa rounds out the top 10. 3 debut drivers right in a row there.
11th was William Martin. 12th, last week's winner Michael Krueger. 13th, Carl Felver. 14th, Brett Bennett and Robert Lukens. First car 1 lap down brings it home, 15th place.
'16th was Dawson Allen. 17th was Caleb McCurry. 18th is going to be Dalton Kelly tonight. Tyler Waterman brings it home 19th, and Dakota Noah runs out the top 20.
21st, Andrew Elias. 22nd, David Durand. And Wesley Rose. 23rd tonight in the 23 truck grid here that we had. Let's go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher, Alonso Chicano. Alonso, you had an interesting strategy there, multiple points during the race. You took it home 3rd place. I'm very surprised. What was the reasoning for the strategy there of staying out super long and coming like 20 laps later than everybody else?
Well, I mean, because I had taken tires earlier, I only had 1 set left, so pretty much if a caution were to have come out, if I would have pit with everybody else and then a caution were to come out later on, I kind of would have been, in really tough spot. So I figured best I could do was just stay out there as long as possible and hope for a caution maybe to come out and be in a good spot to then pit. But it just never happened. I mean, that's what happens when you have strategies and gamble. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure we really had a race-winning truck, so to lead a whole bunch of laps and finish 3rd, I mean, I'll take it, especially if it means having a teammate win like Alex. Really happy for him.
Well, it is going to help your point situation from last week, of course, being involved in an incident and this week, leading all those laps and rebounding, especially with the pole position that you got, and finishing third. So looking at the points, of course, everything is unofficial, but how much of a difference is this going to make in your battle to get back up there?
I mean, obviously, it's a great points day. The thing with this new point system is, just make it to the chase and then go all out there. I mean, during the regular season, it's really go for wins and all that, and rack up some playoff points and just be in a good position for post regular season.
All right. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsor shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Celsius and the Pitts News, Grid Network, everyone, and Radius and Vortex Racing, all my teammates out there. I'd like to thank everyone watching, and of course you guys as well. JCTV always does a great job at broadcasting, so I really appreciate you guys doing so.
All right. Well, that was Alonso Chicano, driver of the number 25. Finished P3 tonight. And up next we have Cameron Caldwell, who finished P2. Adam, I believe you have caught up with him.
Yeah, Cameron, we talked to you a lot during this race. What was it like during that middle part of the run where it was kind of like speedway style racing there?
It's pretty much exactly how you described it. That was crazy, amazing, frustrating at times. First of all, big congrats to Alex. He's been deserving one for a while now. I'm very, very happy for him. Definitely the happiest I've ever been finishing second in the race. But yeah, that run after the stage was just something else. I thought I had a good grip on it, and then Alonso drove through the field with fresh tires after that quick yellow we had, and after that, I just couldn't really get back to the front. I was just trying to run my line, save my stuff, and others were driving it a little bit harder. And there was a point towards the end of the run before we all pit under green that I was just stuck behind people, and I had burned up my stuff a little too much to be able to just kind of forcefully pass them. So I was just kind of stuck, and we were all kind of debating on what we wanted to do for pit strategy, and they were all talking about going long like Alonso did, and I kind of felt like I wanted to split it like I did, and once I think Joseph did it, I felt like that was the right call, so I did it. And Alex followed me a few laps later, and obviously worked out really well for us. So overall, very good race for us. Very good race overall, I think. I'm hoping that was a good race from the booth, but it was very exciting for us.
Yeah, when you were racing Joseph and Alex there, what almost did you need that last stint when you were in off that pit strategy there trying to run down the leaders?
I think I just needed a little bit more tire, maybe pit a little bit later. I just felt like if I didn't pit when I did, Joseph was going to pull away. But obviously, with how Alex was able to pit a few laps later than us, he obviously drove around both of us. So I think I just needed to pit a little bit later. But you live and you learn. I guess put that in the memory bank for next time we have a green flag pit stop with strategy involved. So yeah, overall, good race, good learning experience, and we'll try it again at Fontana next week.
Any shout-outs after this run-up finish tonight here in Charlotte?
Yep. Thanks to my sponsors in the Pits News, C2 Graphics, Milwaukee Massage Therapy, RPS Marketing, Left Coast Revivals, Grid Network, Elite Performance Industries, ACR Digital, you guys for broadcasting, everyone for racing. Thanks to my parents and grandparents for watching. Thanks to all the fans for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, that was...
Congrats again, Karen.
Sorry for cutting that a little bit there, but that was the driver of the number 12, Cameron Caldwell, who finished P2. We're going to bring in our race winner, Alexander Kerfan. Kerfan, how you doing?
How's it going?
big win tonight for you, and kind of a statement win out of that 30 truck. What you had a little bit of a different pit strategy than them. You pit a little bit later. Was that the biggest difference here in getting you the victory away from the 12 and the 4?
Yeah, I feel like no matter what I wanted to do was definitely to pit after Alonso and Cam. I knew having the fresher tires was really important at this track. Even one lap fresher tires, you'd be very surprised how big of a difference it is. Uh, and once I was able to get out in the front into clean air, the truck hooked up, felt very nice, and was able to run off with the win today. Very great Kerfan's Market Chevy.
You had a little bit of a scare there with about 5 laps to go. What actually happened there? I didn't catch it.
So I communicated to Brett I was going low to pass him, and he gave me the space, and I just got really tight below him and kind of washed up the track a little bit. And props to him for saving it. That was one hell of a save by him, and uh, it really. It really put a smile on my face to see it go green the rest of the way. That was a very nice save by Brett. Props to him.
I'm very curious to know when we had that big battle there shortly after the stage between you, Caldwell, Chicano, and Lester. I kind of had a little bit of thoughts of like Daytona or Talladega racing. What was it like, in that moment, driving your truck and just trying to keep it clean and not, have a big one?
I trust those guys a lot. They're very clean racers. We've been racing with each other for a while now. We know each other's tendencies. We know how to give each other space and respect each other's runs. Usually, someone gets a run, we'll give them the space, not impede them. But yeah, I trust them a lot. I didn't think for one moment that we'd get into a wreck because they're just awesome racers. I love my team. They're great.
All right, before I let you go, I got to know, is there any sponsors or team shout-outs you'd like to give? Who gets done behind that 30 truck?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my friends and family that watch this. It's really cool that they enjoy watching this. I'd like to thank Kerfan's Market, my dad's store, for sponsoring my truck. I'd like to thank Cameron for giving me this opportunity to race on Radius Racing. I'd like to thank all my teammates. I'd like to thank C2 Graphics, Grid Network, In the Pits News, JCTV. Great broadcast by you guys.
All righty, well, congrats once again on the big win here at Charlotte, and go celebrate.
Thank you, I will.
That was Alexander Kerfan, driver the number 30 tonight, with a big victory. Adam, it was, as you said, a statement win out of that 30. He's had a little bit of bad luck here to finish off the winter season. And so big win for Kerfan.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most consistent drivers we saw in the Winter Series. So obviously, like I mentioned before, got taken out of a win, so he never got to BP1 ever, unfortunately, in the sprint season. But one of the drivers that we had circled before this full 18 race season to see who can really shine and make the most out of it all.
Well, that's going to wrap it up from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next week, we look forward to a track that put on an amazing show last season at Auto Club. And, one thing that was very interesting, if you guys remember, that came out of that race last season was the fact that, the story was Radius Racing and big battle between Caldwell and Chicano early in the race where the two actually made contact, and it seemed like Caldwell was out of the race, but he ended up coming back and winning. and followed that up with a win at the other 2-miler in Michigan. So we know Caldwell, he is really good at those 2-mile tracks, and it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, what's going to happen at Auto Club. That's 1 week away from tonight at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you there. That's going to do it from us here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This was the MartinPC.com 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Big thank you to Martin PC, In the Pits News, Elite Performance Industries, and everybody that gets it done for the In the Pits News Truck Series. The admins, Caldwell, Chicano, putting on a great show every single week. And big thank you to Adam to, once again, calling another great race with me. It's going to do it from us here. We'll see you next week. Stay safe and take care.